Hey everyone, Zach here. Got a slightly changed look and a new filming setup to talk about the second season of Voltron Legendary Defender. Starting off, we got episode 12, Across the Universe. Begins pretty much right where the season 1 finale left off, as Alora, Karan, and the Paladins boarded the castle and tried to escape from Galra Central Command via wormhole. Hagar destabilized it, and all the lines were sent to random points in space. And I'm guessing it'll at least be a two-parter, since this episode doesn't actually cover Hunk, or Lance's situation. But we get quite a bit of Shiro, Keith, Pidge, Alora, and Karan. Overall, it's a good mix of serious and fun. The main pretty straight dramatic part is Keith and Shiro. They both end up on this overall desolate planet. Their lions are pretty damaged from the crash. Shiro succumbing to a wound that Hagar inflicted upon him in their fight. And there are these kind of lizard creatures trying to take advantage of Shiro's vulnerability, while Keith is separated him by some distance and has to try to get to him. But while that's going on, there's kind of an interesting balance with Pidge. She and the Green Lion end up in sort of a space debris area that's overall collected around itself, I guess. There's, of course, the drama of having to contact the others, find a way back in contact with someone very quickly. But overall, I found her part of the episode kind of the most whimsical, in a way. I mean, one, there's the cute animal factor. She finds these floating fuzzball animals that live among the wreckage. They're, I guess, semi-intelligent, but overall it's sort of just like living stuffed animals. Sort of walking the line between dramatic and funny. She makes sort of trash mannequins of all the others, doing impressions of them. Sort of whittling them down to their very basic personality aspects. But she gets to work on trying to assemble the junk into a kind of signal array that Green Lion can transmit its location through to kind of send a beacon. And sort of the trippiest situation was still aboard the castle. It hadn't escaped the wormhole. It's essentially in a time loop in which it's destabilized all around them. They can't lock onto an exit point. They can't find any of the lions. And there's this black void in front of them that they're destined to go through every time unless they find a way out. And all aboard have an different effect on from the loop. Allura herself doesn't actually seem to be affected, though. I'm not sure if it's sort of the quintessence connection to the Kessel's crystal, probably something like that. The Altean mice she's with, they keep turning into different animals with each pass through the loop. I'm not sure what that indicates. Maybe previous, like, evolutionary stages of their species. Well, Coran keeps getting younger in different stages, bit by bit. I hope to give more, like, voice acting shoutouts in the episodes when they give a distinct performance. Coincidentally enough, like I said in the first episode, that Rhys Darby stood out to my ear. He again put in an interesting performance for this, because up until his character's, at least like the equivalent of like 8 years old or so, he keeps doing the voice. First it's like this, like, bizarrely dashing and gorgeous, slightly younger version of himself. Apparently he went through sort of a teenage rebellious phase. He's like trying to express himself through music in this dire situation. All of a sudden he's got mostly a shaved head, but with this large area sort of drooping in front of his face. He's talking to Allura basically as if she's his mom that doesn't understand him. And I guess an interesting fact about Altean physiology, at least with males, facial hair can grow pretty early in life, because if not taken as just a sight gag, Coran had a mustache when he was 5 or something. This little kid, or maybe a skilled female voice actor voicing the character, all whiny and temperamental, still has the interestingly shaped mustache. But things overall turn out nicely for the characters, even with Shiro still needing medical attention. Pidge's signal gets through and the castle finds her. Then they move on and locate Keith and Shiro. Interesting development between them. I'm not sure if it's just kind of a connection between the two characters and their leadership potential. But now, I guess with enough urging, with enough danger, Keith can pilot the Black Lion, because he helps save Shiro from the creatures. So I don't know if piloting is kind of interchangeable, or if it's in just special cases like that. Meanwhile, at Gara Central Command, they're wondering about the sabotage to the solar barrier. They realize it is a mechanical failure due to Hagar's careful work on it. And based on his previous unauthorized actions, Prorok himself is considered the one to blame, while the actual perpetrator, Thace, is promoted and is to lead the investigation. So now I'm not sure if he actually is completely betraying the Empire, or if this was just a scheme for him to rise in the ranks. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more in the next episode. Along with that, we'll see what Hunk and Lance have been dealing with. It's good to be back. Looks like it'll be an interesting season. See you in episode 13.